like I keep saying I'm back, because I think I'm back, and then something will happen and I'll disappear for a week or two, because life is busy, and if I'm doing lots of stuff, I'm not making makeup videos. But I think it's calming down, so hopefully this is the beginning of new regularity. I don't know. I'm going to do a full face of MAC products. That's what we're going to do today. I've gotten some new things, so this includes some new things. It includes some more information about some things I may have talked about before. But full face MAC makeup. It will be a headband day. I don't think I've done the headband before. There we go. Okay. So starting out, foundation, I've got the MAC Studio Radiance, and I am shade N11. Yep. Which I believe is it's the first just N shade, which 11, but it is. That is what it is. And this is their Serum Powered Foundation. It does have some luminosity to it. It's slightly dewy. It's not a matte finish. I wouldn't call it dewy. I also wouldn't call it radiant, really, even though it's Studio Radiance. In that I don't think there's any mica or the synthetic mica in it. Shake well. Which makes sense since it's a serum, but I don't think I've ever shaken it before. So, whoops. And it's, I'd say, light to medium coverage. I mean, it's more than a skin tint, but definitely not full coverage. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. For prep today, I just did just my normal skin prep, which includes moisturizing toners, some redness preventing serum, moisturizer, sunscreen. If you all have any interest in finding out if me talking more about my skincare routine, I'm happy to do that, but I feel like there are probably people that are better versed than I am on benefits of certain ingredients, and I watch those people too. They do what they tell me. All right, as you can see, you can still see some of my redness through it. Part of that is because I was just rubbing my face with a brush. So that'll go down, but I am going to use a little concealer under the eyes and just a little bit in the red areas. And that full face of MAC, so we're going to use the MAC Studio Radiance 24-hour Luminous Lift Concealer. And this is in shade NC10. But I think this may have been before if they just changed the colors of this concealer, then this is the old colors, because I found this concealer at TJ Maxx. So that means that there was something about it that made it go to TJ Maxx, and it may be that they changed the numbers. Or it could be because the tube looks exactly the same. Maybe it's slightly different now. Because like in the Powder Kiss, I don't think they changed that formula of that lipstick at all. but they did change the tube a little bit and made it where the metal was chrome, they made it black or gold depending on the type of product. So maybe there's some sort of change in the design of this and the product's the same, or maybe the product changed slightly. I don't know. But when I saw this product in the store, it looked like it was the same tube. So I'm not sure what's different. Just to say, the fact that it's NC10 may not be what NC10 looks like if you go and buy NC10. This is a little warm for me, but it's close enough that it works. This concealer plays well with any foundation that I've used it with, but it works really well with the MAC Studio Radiance because I kind of think they're made to go together. It says luminous lift. I don't notice that it does any lifting, but it doesn't crease a whole lot. It's not quite as good for non-creasing as my Refi, but the wear is a little better. And you can see, I hope you can, that, you know, I have some luminosity, but there's no like sparkle to either the foundation or the concealer. All right, normally I would do like some contour or bronzer here. I do not have either of those from MAC, but I do have the paint pots in Tailor Gray. So I'm gonna do a little bit of that, just as a little bit of contour to give me some definition, just to put a little bit of that in. I want to brush it out because it does set down. I don't want dirty stripes or gray stripes. A little bit on my nose. All right, so it's one of those things where I don't think if I hadn't shown you that I was doing it, you might not realize that I had done that, but it does make a difference in how my makeup comes across, especially on camera with the lights. It just kind of like, it gives me cheekbones and a jawline and kind of recedes the puffiness of my eyes a little bit. Anybody that spends any time on my channel knows that I really like MAC, but sometimes their shade descriptions below, in that it's not what I think of that color as being. So I have two of the Glow Play blushes. I have Grand and Blush Please as being a petal pink. And if you think of petal pink, I would think of like a neutral pink color, like the color pink of a petal of a flower. So cool to neutral pink. This is Grand. And there it looks oranger than it does in person, but it definitely is warm. So here is Grand on my hand. I would not call that petal pink. It's a really pretty color, but it's not pink, it's orange. Maybe Peachy could call it a petal peach, All right. So Blush Please is probably the best well-known of the Glow Play blushes. And it is described as a neutral light mauve. Okay, first off, to me, mauve is like a pinky purple color. So mauve, just in being mauve, to me, should be cool. So the fact that it says neutral light mauve, to me, those don't necessarily go together. I would describe this color as being like a pinky beige, light pinky beige. I will swatch it next to Grand. It is neutral. It is definitely a neutral color, which is what I use it for. It's the second one, which I don't know, is really not picking up as being beige at all, and looking very similar to Grand. But maybe if I'm back a little bit, you can tell the difference. Yeah. I would not call it mauve. Anyway, it's the one I'm going to use today, because it is kind of a beige color. So it adds color for filling in a kind of a base tone that then it's bringing me up a level. So when I put something else on top of it, it doesn't look hollow looking and looks more native on my face. So that's what I use this for. Also, because these are putty blushes, they kind of work like creams as opposed to powders. So I'm going to use it as my cream blush right now. Now, as I do my eyes, you will see this will get less red. Gonna do some eyes. I am really liking these new Multisculpt paint matte paint things. And I now have 4 of them. Let's see, let me get the name right. The Multisculpt Matte. That's it. Okay, less words than I thought. And I've got Painterly, which is like a pinky cream color. It's got some very slight pinkiness to it. Tailor Gray, which I can swatch next to the paint pot, so you can see the difference, but it is gray. It still leans a little taupe to me, but supposedly it's gray. It's the coolest one that they have. Then we have Stone, which is taupe. So it's a little less cool, so it's more like a neutral color. And then I have Buffed Up, which probably could also fit in the taupe category, but this is browner, so it is warmer. And I think it's still neutral, but it's leaning warm. I will swatch all of these for you. Okay, so Painterly, Tailor Gray, Stone, and Buffed Up. And you can see that Stone and Buffed Up have a lot more like opacity than Tailor Gray does. And Painterly has a pretty good amount of opacity. It's just a very light color. And it looks actually very warm there. I think my camera just makes everything look a little bit warmer, but you can really see the difference between the Tailor Gray and Stone. It really does look more like taupey than gray, whereas if you shear Tailor Gray out, you get gray. You don't get a dove gray, but you do get neutral gray. And on me, these Multisculpts, once they dry down, don't budge on me until I take them off. But I tend to wear them pretty sheer. and I'm going to put one on. I'm going to put Stone on today, and I will show you. Maybe I'll put Stone on one eye and Tailor Gray on the other. So I just use the littlest amount, and then I basically use my finger. And that's it. Sometimes I will take a fluffy brush and go around the edges to kind of buff out the edge, so I don't have any kind of like harsh line. But with how little I use, these are going to last forever. Okay, let me put Tailor Gray on the other side. Use about the same amount. And so I don't know if you can really, I'm going to close my eyes and see so that you can kind of see the difference. Here, I can see that the Stone one, this side, is like slightly warmer than this side, but there you go. Sometimes I wear these like this. One of my favorite ways to wear them is then to use this basically as an eyeshadow base and put something sparkly on top. The Merit shimmer shadows that they came out with, I don't know, like a year ago, they work really great. Here are all the colors again, now all dry. All right, so today I'm gonna put a little bit of Havana on the top, which is one of these, one of the extra dimension shadows from MAC. And it's just kind of a cool brown color. Just put some of that on. These shadows don't need to have anything underneath them. They're just beautiful, but I find that anything I put on top of the Multisculpt mattes sticks around a lot longer than if I did it without putting that Multisculpt down first. Okay, so we've got that. Let's do some brows, and I only have one brow product from MAC, and that is the Volux Brow Liner, and I have it in brunette, which is not, I wish it was the shade that's on here, but it comes across a little darker than that. So I'll just put that on. And as you may have noticed when I was doing my second eyebrow, the thing that kind of bugs me about this pencil is that it's not powdery enough, and so sometimes when you're putting it on, it comes across like too harsh of a line. And the brush that comes with it is very kind of, I don't know, not soft. Hard seems like the wrong word, but I don't know what word would, coarse maybe. And so it will kind of loosen up the tightness of the line, but it doesn't feel good. So not my favorite. I don't have any MAC eyeliner. I think that's one of the only things I do not have. So I'm just going to use I want gray today. So I'm going to use my Sephora collection 12-hour retractable eyeliner in shimmer gray, and this is the waterproof line, and it needs just a dark gray color, but a little less contrast than black. It is like a blue-gray. I think MAC has a gel liner. If any of you have used a MAC eyeliner that you really like, let me know. For mascara, the only MAC mascara I have is the sample MAC Stack Elevated that I got. It is not my favorite mascara. I don't mind it, but it's not, basically, it's not a tubing mascara. And the wand is a little weird. I don't know if you can see the weirdness of that shape. But it's the like classic type of wand in that it is like nylon bristles. And I like the ones that are just like plastic. This sometimes gets goopy. Also, it does transfer. I have oily eyelids, and after, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours of wear, I will get some transfer here and up here. So it's not my favorite. But MAC, we're doing MAC today. So there you go. I think it's supposed to be a curling mascara, and that's why it's called MAC Stack Elevated. It does not curl my lashes, and I did curl them before I started filming, and they are flat now. But that's not unique to this formula. My eyelashes don't like to be curled. They don't like to go up. They like to stick out. So, I mean, that's fine. And I actually think it looks pretty right now. It kind of looks like I would like a mascara to look, and then it added some volume and some length, but doesn't look clumpy, doesn't look weirdly spidery or like too long. I think it looks pretty. Unfortunately, it just won't look this pretty 4 hours from now. MAC does have a tubing mascara, and I tried to buy it the last order that I did, but it was sold out. So let me know if you've tried it and if it's any good, and I will still continue to try to buy it next time I make a MAC order, which might be a little bit. Although there is another blush that I want to get. So new blushes. I ordered 2 of the blushes, and I have Blush Baby, which is a matte, because they have 29 shades, and about half are matte and half are kind of shimmery. But they're all called the Skin Finish Color Struck blushes. So I have Blush Baby, which is kind of a light neutral pink. I will just say, I'll get the descriptions. And then No Filter, which is a little warmer, and does have a slight bit of shimmer to it, but not a lot. So here's Blush Baby. In person, it looks cooler than that. And then here is No Filter. And I don't know if you can see the shimmer particles or not. They're not, it's not super shimmery. Okay. So Blush Baby is the pink one, and No Filter looks absolutely orange. Okay, Blush Baby is described as being a beige pink, and it is matte. Again, here are the colors. It's not very beige, it's just pink. And No Filter is described as a brown pink, and it is radiant. So again, strange descriptions. I will put one on each side. But Blush Baby is, I think, a good color for me. Okay, so right now my face is red from tapping it. So we'll give it a minute because this one looked really red before, and you can tell it's gone down and it just looks kind of a nice pink tone now. So if I cover up this part of my face, I mean, I think that that looks really nice. When I turn my head, it looks a little bright, and it doesn't go with this colored shirt that I'm wearing very much. But it is a color that I can wear, and I actually really like it. It's more of a fall color for me than a summer color. But I like this color. I'm not going to return it. This color works better with what I'm wearing. I really, the headband does not go. I'm going to add a little bit of this color over here to balance everything out. And then add a little bit of the other color on the other side. And hopefully it won't look horrible, but I'm going to do that real fast. Okay. I think that balanced out pretty well. Lips. I've got Cool Spice as my liner. It, like many MAC things, is not as cool as I wish that it was, but it works. And then when I bought all this stuff, I got a free lipstick, and it's blankety, so I thought I would wear that today. It's going to end up looking kind of like a concealer lip on me, but I think that's fine with this look. It's a very neutral tone. I wish that the liner was a little bit more pink, as I think some coolness would be good. I feel like it's pulling just slightly orange, like in the middle. It is not a warm color. I will swatch it on my hand for you. It really isn't. And there, it doesn't look near as light as it does on my lips. Anything that is a light color, like a desaturated color, if it has any warmth in it at all, my skin is going to pull that out. So on some people, this looks positively cool. But on me, it is slightly orange, or I am choosing to call it a nude tone. It is not a bad color. It just doesn't really go with the rest of this look. I need it to be a little bit more purple to it. So I'm going to add a little bit of purple. Like a So what I did was I added a little bit of Glassy Lilac from House Labs, and it just made it look more like a pink and less like that kind of concealer look. Eventually we figured it out, managed to tie it all together. So there you go, a full face of MAC.